Hello, dear students. How are you all? This is Dr. Sunil Kanal along with Anubhavi Foundation taking your 10th standard revision lectures. We have come to the last lap of the Science 2 uh, chapters, that is chapter number 10, Science 2, Disaster Management for 4 marks, and with option it comes for 6 marks. Hope you are all keeping fine, and we have been facing a pandemic, which is also one part of one type of disaster, and we are managing it well in our country. Okay, and with new vaccines coming up, we can fight that disease very nicely and efficiently. But disaster management, to understand what is disaster management, we have to understand what is disaster, and then we have to understand how we can manage at the local level, at the city or the community level, and at the country level. And for that we should have some knowledge about these things. Okay, so what are disasters? Very important. Variously dangerous events which occur many times in the environment are called as disasters. Okay, dangerous events like floods, then wet and dry famines, cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanoes. These are all sudden troubles to the mankind. Maybe he's not ready with such things, and such things are called as disasters. Such events cause sudden changes in the environment and thereby cause the damage to it. Okay, environment is always also damaged due to use of natural resources for our development. Even human beings are causing disaster. In Uttarakhand we have seen such things. This happens to leads to sudden disasters unexpected to human beings and are called as man-made disasters. So there can be natural disasters, it can be man-made disasters because of human activity on the nature, and the things are coming back to us. Example is Newton's third law. We always know that every action has equal and opposite reaction. If we are destroying our environment, the things are coming back to us in a negative manner. United Nations has defined the disaster as a sudden event that leads to the huge loss of life and property. Any sudden event which can cause huge loss of life and property is called as a disaster. Words like huge and sudden are very important because it is affecting large number of people and it is a sudden event. Therefore, we don't get time to come out of it or to face it, which is coming so suddenly. Disaster occurs suddenly, it cannot be predicted. Hence, precautions are only possible. You can only have a precautionary measures. Losses of the property occur in the area of disaster. They are long term effects on the society, and this all occurs because of life and property loss. So let's come back to types of disasters. Very important that this chart you should know. So we can define the disaster into three headings, or three types of disasters can be defined: geophysical, biological, man-made. Geophysical, geological, and atmospheric. Example: earthquakes are geological, volcanoes, tsunamis, landslides, etc. Landslides or the landfall, or suddenly glacier bursting. All these are geological. Atmospheric: hot and cold waves, snowfalls, then cyclones, storms, floods, meteorites, sunspots, etc. All these are the geophysical. Biological: it can be forest fires. Now in Odisha we are having a forest fire, which is actually the forest reserves are being destroyed because of that fire. Okay, just today only I read about these things. So we are having such as that is called as a biological disaster. Then blisters, then aquatic or any weed formation which is destroying the either the aquatic weeds or the weeds which are present in the soil and the terrestrial level. All this can destroy the standing crops. Then animals, infections, viruses. A very perfect example is COVID-19 coronavirus, which is affecting the world. It has caused a pandemic. It has caused so many deaths in the world. Again, that is a disaster. Cholera, malaria, hepatitis, plague, insect bites, etc., etc. Okay, then we have man-made, unknown and international. Okay, unknown poisonous gases which are released, atomic test, unexplained action which can cause the problem in the environment or disasters, accidents. then international wars, okay, fire, bombs, that is bomb blast, etc., migration, terrorism, rapes, child labor are all types of disasters. We have to accept them as a challenge, and we have to face them properly. So, what are the effects of disasters? Disasters definitely affect the economy of the nation. That effect is always related to disaster and economy. It will affect the economy in a long way. We have seen that in our country, because of lockdown, many people have lost their jobs. Many people have the daily wage workers, the laborers have migrated back to their villages, and it causes huge expenses to reconstruct or to bring them. Of course, the government of India and the state governments are doing perfect job, positive work, so that they are bringing the people back to normal. Sorry. An effect of disaster is social, at social level, is that if the local leadership is not strong, if we don't have a so strong leadership, citizens become confused. So we require a strong leadership who can help the people to rescue and rehabilitate. Administrative problems arise during the disaster, but if the local governments, which are affected by the disasters, come up with the solution or answer to the problem, they can work for the disaster management efficiently. So all the concerned departments are affected by disaster, and thereby entire system collapses. But the government, the machinery, the leadership qualities of few people can bring back everything on rails. So, nature and scope of disaster, we have a pre disaster phase, the warning phase, the emergency phase, rehabilitation phase, recovery phase, and reconstruction phase. So, pre phase, during disaster, and post phase, what are we supposed to do? So, taking into consideration the nature and scope of disaster, only three aspects of disaster are very important. The first is emergency phase, or when the disaster is actually occurring. Important character of the phase is that maximum lives can be saved by quick action during this phase only. Various action. Now we should learn something from the model of Japan, where the earthquakes are managed so efficiently that, because there multiple earthquakes occur during the year, but still the people are taught that even the school children know how to handle them, and thus they can save their life. So, various actions like search and rescue operations, medical assistance, first aid, restoring communication services, removing the people from the affected area, all this occurs during this phase. Gravity of disease can be estimated in this phase only. How much was the damage? Then comes the transitional phase. Rehabilitation work is started in this phase after the disaster fades away, or the subsidence of any type of disaster. It includes cleaning of debris, restoring water supply, repairing roads, communication, etc., to bring about a normal public life. Rehabilitation of the victims is an important aspect of during that phase. Generally, different institutes offer the monetary as well as other help to such people. It helps to soothe the mental stress at the earliest if these victims are offered with the permanent mean of earning livelihood, and this is all possible with transitional phase of rehabilitation. Then comes the reconstruction phase. You can see in 2014 there had been a huge landslide in the village Malin, Taluka, Ambegao district, Pune, in which the full village was actually under the debris of the mud, or the from the hillslide or the hill fall and all that. But still, you can see the earlier images, and afterwards, after rehabilitation, how the village has come up properly because of the government help and how the government has worked for it. So, reconstruction phase is a highly complicated phase. The phase begins in transitional phase itself. People reconstruct their buildings, their roads, facilities, etc., with the help of government machinery. But it takes a long time to reconstruct. For reconstruction, old problems of several years have become fears, increasing population, increasing needs of people. So, all these are extreme, and such disasters have increased after the World War II. But it is the responsibility of the people, the society, and the government, so that they forget all their religious differences, racial differences, come together and fight against them. and this is possible in the reconstruction phase. So the very important topic now, dear students, is disaster management. See, disaster is one aspect, but how we are effectively and efficiently managing it is a very important topic. Disaster may be minor or major, short time or a long time disaster. It should be overcome, and effective disaster management is necessary. There is close relation between disaster management and public participation. Disaster management is either prevention of disaster or making the arrangement so that we can achieve a timeline where we can improve the life of the people who are affected during that disaster through scientific and careful observation and analysis of data. For example, preparing the action plan through study of various aspects like preventive measures, rehabilitation, reconstruction. If your action plan is ready, you can execute that plans whenever such disasters occur. So all this is very important. Planning and execution are the two parts of disaster management. So pre-disaster management and post-disaster management, we can define them into two aspects. In the pre-disaster management, this includes the complete preparation and planning, identifying the pre-disaster areas means where the disaster can occur, collecting the information about the intensity of the disaster if it has occurred earlier, and probable sites of disaster through predictive intensity maps and hazard maps, getting special training for disaster management for the people around or the volunteers and NGOs, then increasing awareness about disaster management among the general public through training programs, mass media, etc. Post disaster management is providing all types of necessary help to victims, then participation of local people because they know more about that area, quick establishment of help centers and communication systems, categorization of the help material received from control center, delivering the material to victims, and continuous review of the help what is given. Being always prepared for disaster rescue is the post disaster management. So main aspects of disaster management cycle, if we start from this preparation, plan is prepared to maintain the to minimize the destruction in any disaster if it occurs. Redemption, plan for minimizing the damage. Preparedness, okay, preparedness, that is a plan is chalked out so as to get the quick response from general public as well as the administration. Impact of disaster, intensity and various aspects of disaster are studied and reviewed. Response is the to the disaster is a very important thing given immediately after the incidents. This factor is followed by the disaster strike in the cycle, and then resurgence is important link between emergency measures and national progress. We have to come back, resurgence. Now after the lockdown, though we are still facing in Maharashtra certain problems, but still we are resurging back, we are trying to come back to the same level as India was. So resurrection is a stage used for the welfare and rehabilitation of the nation. Restoration, this is an important link between measures of disaster and national development. This step is help for the progress of nation and rehabilitation of the people. So now district disaster management authority. At the district level, district collector is responsible for disaster management. Each district collector will assess the situation and accordingly plan, coordinate and control the implementation of the rehabilitation programs in his own district. He is also responsible for designing the schemes for each district, that is at the village level, the taluka level and the district level, and getting sanctions from the state level authorities. Now first aid and emergency action. Now if you see these three symbols, explosives or flammable gas or inflammable material, which shows that they are hazardous material, we have to keep away from them. You can see them on those trucks or the those vehicles where these things are carried in cylinders or something like that. Okay, so we have to check out for these materials and we have to keep away from them, and we should be ready for the first aid and emergency action in case of any accident. We have studied in earlier classes about the types of first aids given. We have studied that in ninth standard itself. Injured, especially the persons injured, they should be given first aid. Use of this knowledge is useful for offering the help to classmates, people around, or anybody who is has undergone a disaster or injured himself. Sometimes we have to face the disaster due to our own unawareness. Some symbols given beside are seen around us. Those symbols are not to be ignored. Such symbols are used to avoid the mishaps or the accidents. Then a person should have a first aid kit. It is essential to have materials necessary for first aid with us. That material is available in the first aid kit, especially in the local areas, etc. First aid kit should be there, especially in societies, institutions, etc. It is also important to use with whatever the material available in the given condition for the first aid kit for the people in disasters. Then a mock drill should be taken. Mock drill is rehearsal. It's a practice to check the preparedness to face or for facing the disaster as early as possible. Virtual and apparent situation of disaster is created to check the reaction type for any type of disaster. Trained personnel observe their responsibility to check execution of plan. So it's like a rehearsal. If the disaster would have occurred, what we would have done. So doing that thing, okay, and practicing it so that we are well prepared with it. So what are the objectives of mock drill? Evaluating the response to the disaster, one important thing. How we will evaluate, how we will respond, improving. So if we are doing a mock drill, it will help us to know where are the loopholes, what are the negative points, where we can correct and improve. Improving the coordination between various departments of disaster control, identification of own abilities, improving the ability of quick response to disaster, checking the competency of the planned action, identifying the possible errors and risk during disaster, which may be that we may come to know during the mock drill, and we can rectify that so that our own personnel or those who are the volunteers or those who are the authorities or who are working all around for them should be saved. Their lives should not go. So dear student, this completes the chapter. It's a easy chapter and it's a superb chapter, but it's also a very important chapter for our lifetime. This chapter has taught us how to face the disasters, any type of disaster, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's floods, whether it is anything, we should be ready for it. So types of disasters: geophysical, biological, man-made, and you had to fill these blanks. So geophysical is erosion, biological bite of poisonous animal, and man-made can be child labor. Okay. Then why it is essential to get a training of first aid? Very important question. First aid, why we should be ready for first aid for any type of diseases or the disasters. We should be ready for such things. We may face various types of major or minor disasters in our daily life. They include accidents, stampede, injuries in fighting, electric shock, burns, heat waves or heat shock, snake bites, dog bite, etc. Okay, short circuits, fire from the shock circuit, epidemic of any disease or pandemic which we are facing now. Example, our first aid now is two things: social distancing and wearing mask, which we should always follow. As a doctor, I would advise you, dear students, to wash your hands as you are going out, coming back. Take care of your health, wear the mask, always keep yourself away from the people. Social distancing is very important, and as the Indian tradition goes, namaste instead of handshakes. Okay, victims of such disasters need to be offered some primary help before actually medical treatment is available. So first aid is required for that. It is in such circumstances that first aid is useful. The main objective of first aid is preventing deterioration of health, so that at least for some time you are sustaining the person's health, deterioration of health, preventing death, and starting the process of rehabilitation. Also, the person present at the location of the disaster should be able to administer first aid. So we should have that training of first aid in the schools, colleges. Nowadays they are giving for NCC people also, and NSS also, they teach the first aid practices to children and students. So this is important for all of us. So dear students, we have discussed two questions, important questions from this chapter. The other important question is the symbols, their meaning and their uses to us. Okay, we should know these questions from disaster management chapter. So dear students, thank you very much. God bless you all. Keep studying, be prepared for your April board exams, and I think you can do very nicely. You can always do it. I know that very much. Thank you and God bless you all.